that information, somewhat internals. We understood that. But complete information of object creation, I will discuss in object orientation concept. So one of the main concept in core Java is object orientation. There, I will discuss again how objects are creating in Java. What exactly the internal work is going on for creating object. Nearly 1.5 hours of time. I will take only object creation statement. There I will discuss much about that particular topic. Don't worry for that. Good. That is one thing. And another thing, before going to start the topic, I want to give some small suggestion to all of you. You are taking the Java course here. You are attending the classes. I am taking the classes. That's good. Nice. Everything is okay. But the thing is, how to prepare for this particular course? How to start our preparation? So 3 to 4 classes are completed. Just I'm attending the class, but I don't know how to proceed for preparing, for understanding, for practicing all these things. Some of you may have thought, so still you didn't even start a first program, but this is core Java programming language. You may have such kind of thinkings. That means you may have such kind of analysis. So I want to give some clarity. Understand it. Core Java is a programming language, no doubt for that. But the nature of the core Java is a mix-up of theory, small programs. Is a mix-up of theory and programs. Why I'm telling this particular point? See, orientation may be on first day itself. I may start how to install Java, how to prepare first program, class test, public static void main, string array args, sysnot outed println, hello first program, finish. But if I start directly the first program, what you are going to understand about it without having proper foundation? If you want to understand even that first program, we need to have a proper foundation. First of all, what is Java? Why we are coming for Java? What exactly the nature of the Java? What features are available for Java? Without having this background understanding, without having this background analysis, how we are moving to the first application? So because of that reason, I want to spend some time for foundation. Once the required foundation is completed, then I will move to the programming part. Don't think about it. Our classes are purely theoretical classes. No. I have a laptop. Then every program I will type in front of you. Even I don't like to show previous programs to you. In front of you, I will type each and every program and I will compile the program. I will show some errors and I will give clarity how to rectify the errors. Then after that, I will execute the program. Intentional, I will do some mistakes in my program. Then I will explain that mistakes and I will explain how to come out from that mistakes and I will execute the program. Intentional, I will generate some exceptions. I will explain that exceptions and I will give clarity how to come out from that exceptions and how outputs are generated. Each and every line analysis is required. If you want to understand that each and every line analysis, you must have very good commanding on theoretical part. Then only you can understand the programming. So because of that reason, what I am telling to all of you, in my classes, theory as well as programming, both are going to be happened. But in the introductory part, you need to understand somewhat theory. In the first day itself, you might be understand about my intention. Java history, nearly one session I have taken. That means without at least some information, if anybody else, not like any interviewer, at least your parents may ask a question to you. Now you are learning Java. Do you have any other courses previously? You might be answered C, C++. Then immediately your parents may ask to you, why you are coming for Java over the C and C++? Tell me some information about Java. Why Java was introduced to the market? How Java was introduced to the market? If this kind of questions are coming from anybody else, definitely we have to answer for it. You should be in a position to open our mouth at least. Not only interviewer, anyone else can have the rights to ask. For example, your relative is working with a big company, you might be asked for some reference. He will ask some questions on Java before giving reference. There we have to open our mouth at least now. So because of that reason, what I am telling there, my approach is very good approach. Try to follow this approach as it is. So you will understand everything. And moreover, I am preparing the platform not only for core Java. I am preparing this platform for our entire IT career. Once you set up this platform, you will not get any problems even in the future. Even whether we are working with Java or not, whether we are going to work with the .NET or not, or Python or not. but my platform will be a strong foundation for any type of technology. I'm showing a model, I'm showing a showcase. If you follow the showcase, then every programming language would be very, very simple. Understand it, what I'm telling you. That's why I want to talk about this one. Why? Because you may have different thoughts about this class also. That's why I want to give clarity on it. Okay, leave all these things. But how to prepare yourself? How to prepare for these classes after completion of the class? As my word, I'm giving videos to everybody, I think so. Am I right or not? Videos already provided to everybody, then videos are coming. Try to utilize that videos, okay? What you have to do? Anyway, you are attending these classes, right? You are attending these classes. Listen the content what I am discussing. After that, go to your home. I'm sure about it. Maybe not now, or maybe in the future. Within 1 hour, your video will be ready in Google Drive. You can access it. Listen one more time that video. After that, after completion of that, close the materials, close the running notes, close the video. Everything you have to close. Just take one white paper. Try to explain the concept what I discussed inside the class in your own way, in yourself. If it is better, if any of your friends or maybe some relatives are staying along with you, call them and try to teach the same class to them. Whatever the class I am teaching inside the classroom, try to imitate me. That's it. Try to teach the same concept to somebody else. By the time we can understand where you are missing, where links are missing, all the things you can understand, then you may rectify. So I'm telling you, just blindly what people are doing there in general, just people are open the material or notes, just they are looking, that's it. Paperwork is very, very important. In the preparation, pen and paper must be required. You have to do work on paper. Try to teach the same class to somebody else. Say, for example, you may have your sister at your home. She might be doing some BTech somewhere else. Then try to explain half an hour. If I'm taking 1.5 hours, you can explain the same thing in half an hour. For explanation, if anything is missing, try to prepare one more time. Again, explain. You are taking responsibility. Definitely, you will understand Java perfectly by the time. But don't open the notes and don't see an error. If you see an error, nothing you are able to get. Close the material, try to recollect point by point, point by point. If anything is missing, open the video and check that point. Again, try to recollect each and every point. Then only you are able to get it. Okay, this type of mode, if you follow, everything what I am explaining, you are able to get. In general, in outside, some statements are going on. From James Gosling, we are learning 50% of the Java. From us, the students are learning 50%. That means overall in Java, 25% students are learning. But I don't want to see such kind of scenarios in my classes. If I have 100% knowledge on Java, I'm trying to inject the total 100% of knowledge to you. You have to get the total 100%. You should not miss out any single statement from my side. That's my point here. If I deliver 100 points, no, out of 100 points, some people are going to get only 50 points. No, I don't want to see such kind of thing. You have to learn all 100 points. In that way, you have to be available. At the end of the course, your knowledge and my knowledge must be same. At the end of the course, your knowledge and my knowledge must be same. My simple philosophy, if you have some points, if I'm not teaching that points, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of data. I don't want to make anything waste in my mind. I want to be meaningful for my content. So that's why everything what I know, I'm trying to discuss. So try to get the total content here. Okay? Right. Follow such kind of guidelines. That will be better for you. You will get more clarity on our content. All right, sir. Now coming to the points here. Now try to understand this clearly. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is platform independent programming language. Now tell me guys, what is platform dependent programming language? First now tell me what is the definition for it. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is called as what? Platform dependent programming language. How can we say, okay, examples for platform dependent programming languages are what? C and C++. Then immediately my question is, how can you say C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages? How can we decide C and C++ are platform dependent? At least give information about C programming language, how C is platform dependent programming language. Now, I given yesterday some explanation yesterday. Now try to recognize this. I prepared the C program. I prepare C program. I compiled C program on Windows operating system. .exe file we are getting. We are given the .exe file to execution. Then it is providing some output. Okay, initially I provided Windows operating system for compilation. The same Windows operating system for execution. Okay, execution successfully. We are getting output. That is platform dependent. But for our discussion purpose, what I have done, first I have taken Windows operating system for compilation, Linux operating system for what? Execution. Execution in the sense C engine could done that execution part. So Linux operating system I have taken. When we compile our C program on Windows operating system, here we are getting a .exe file. What file we are getting? .exe file. What the .exe file contains? .exe file contains some executable code. .exe file contains what? Executable code. Please remember the statement. Executable code. When .exe file contains executable code, that executable code will have some operating system representations. Executable code is varied from one operating system to another operating system. Windows is having one format of execution code. Linux is having another format of execution code, and some other is having some other part of execution code. Okay. Now here, as we compiled our C program on Windows operating system, then we are getting Windows represented executable code. Then what is the nature of this Windows represented executable code? Windows represented executable code will be executed under Windows operating system only. It will not be executed under other operating systems. So if you want to run Windows represented executable code, there definitely we have to use Windows operating system only. We should not use any other operating system. But in our example, initially Linux operating system I have used. C engine was installed on Linux operating system. So Linux operating system, that means C engine is able to understand only Linux represented execution code. But what we provided here, Windows represented execution code we provided on Linux operating system, but C engine cannot understand our Windows represented execution code as it was installed on Linux operating system. It can understand only Linux representations. It cannot understand Windows representations. But if you want to execute this program, then what we have to do? Then very simple. For execution purpose, whatever the Linux operating system we have used, just remove that Linux operating system. In place of that Linux operating system, what we have to provide there? Windows operating system we have to provide. So now up to this clearly, for compilation, which operating system we have used? Windows. For execution, we have used which operating system? Windows. Now our program will be executed successfully. Why? Because C program we compiled on Windows operating system. We are getting .exe file as per Windows representations. If you are giving the .exe file on Windows operating system, then C engine can understand that Windows representations. C engine can execute that Windows representations. And finally here we are getting like what now? Output here we are getting. So finally we understood C is what? Platform dependent. That means same operating system for both compilation and execution or not? Execution process is depending on the operating system which we use for compilation. Am I right or not? C engine depends on the operating system which you have used for compilation. Am I right or not? So that's why that C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages. Sir, nothing, sir. This part everybody will teach and everybody will understand up to this part now. The next step is very, very important. Next point is very, very important. There, your talent will come out. What is the second point there? Java is a platform independent programming language. How Java is platform independent programming language? Interview will ask this question. In more effective manner, we have to answer for it. Don't say only definition. Initially, you can say definition. Then definitely interview will ask how. Then there you have to answer for that question. Right, sir. I'll give much clarity. First of all, tell me what is platform independent programming language, guys? What is platform independent programming language? If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is what? Platform independent programming language. At breakfast? But why your voice are very low? Speak loudly. Speak loudly. It will be helpful for you. Okay, right, sir. Now let's understand it. Example for platform independent programming language is Java. Of course, Python is also available. It's not in our content now. Java. Think more about Java. Java is a platform independent programming language. How, sir? How Java is platform independent programming language? Can you close the pop-up? Close the pop-up. Right. Pop-up. I'm my system. Okay. All right, sir. Let's understand this clearly. So, how Java is platform independent programming language? That's the question. Okay, thank you. How Java is platform independent programming language. Listen, first of all, as per the definition I'm giving some diagram. Let me explain as per the definition. After that, I will go for some scenario. So, for example, I want to take a simple Java program. Everybody has to understand it. I'm going to take a simple Java program. How, sir? How can you say this is a Java program? What we have to identify? What we have to specify? Extension. What is that extension there now? Dot Java. Okay, fine. This is dot Java program. Nice. When we prepare this dot, that means here I need to provide some source code or not? Some source code here we have to provide. Okay, sir. Good. Whenever we have taken Java program source code, then what we have to do? Come on, what we have to do? What we required? Compilation is required or not? Definitely compilation is required. So I need to go for like what now? Compilation. This is compilation. Everybody put more concentration. My concepts are very much clear. More important topic. I'm going to give some introduction part for some components. Compilation here we have done. That's okay. In case of C and C++, after compilation, which files we are able to get? .exe. In case of which programming languages? C and C++. Very nice. But in the case of Java, when we compile our Java program, which file here we are able to get? Which file here we are able to get? Already I said to you, which file we are able to get? Dot class or dot classes. Dot class or dot classes, whatever it will be. Okay, fine. Dot class file here we are getting. Inside this dot class file, what we are having, I will explain later on. Don't worry at present. Then after that, whenever this dot class file here we are getting there, as per the definition, I want to go for multiple executions, not like even a single execution. I want to go for multiple executions. How I am going to take multiple executions here? Now, up to this clearly, I want to take 3 to 4 types of executions. That times execution. All right, sir. Now here, I want to specify this is one-time execution. All of you up to this clearly? This is one-time execution. And here we are getting some outputs. Here we are getting output. Now just let me write something. Now this is like what I'm telling there, execution. Put more concentration, guys. I'm not discussing this topic on flow. With a very good intention, I'm talking there. Put more concentration. Output here we are getting. Okay, fine. Now here, first of all, let me discuss as per the definition. Then after that, I'll discuss more. Like this, I want to take multiple executions, not like single execution, multiple executions here I want to take. Okay. All right. Put more concentration. Now tell me, guys, How many times I compiled my program now? Tell me. One time. How many times I'm executing my program? 4 times I'm trying to execute my program. Right, sir. 4 times. 4 times we are executing our program. One more simple question. How many dot class files are generated here? One a dot class file. But how many times we are executing the same dot class file? 4 times. Listen carefully. As per the definition, as Java is a platform independent programming language, it allows compilation in one operating system. Say, for example, I want to take like what now? Windows operating system. And we can run the same program in multiple operating systems. Now here, I want to use different operating systems for each and every execution. At each and every execution, I will use different operating systems. Now here, I want to go for here like Linux operating system, and here, for example, Unix operating system, and here, for example, like what now, Mac operating system. Then here, I want to use the same Windows operating system again. Of course, we can execute our program in a multiple operating systems in the sense, including the same operating system also. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? The compilation is one operating system and execution is another operating system in the sense, in another operating system, we can include the same operating system which we have used for compilation. That is also one type of operating system. That's it. Okay, fine. This is my scenario. If it is possible, then my programming language is what? Platform independent programming language. Right, sir? All of you understand clearly up to now, as per the definition, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. So my programming language would be platform independent. But here the question is how Java is platform independent. That's the question. Put more concentration in a small minute point. I will deviate from the previous concept. There I will give conclusion. Put complete attention. Okay, good. Listen all of you. When I compile Java program on Windows operating system, here we are able to get a dot class file. Listen carefully. Dot class file. Before this dot class file, I'm asking one question. In C and C++, .exe file is available. Am I right or not? In C and C++, .exe file is available. Now tell me, .exe file contains what? Executable code. Am I right or not? Similarly, in Java, dot class file contains bytecode. Dot class file contains what? Bytecode. Please respond for my question. Dot class files contains bytecode. Sir, okay, sir. Bytecode. The word is good. Tell me something about that bytecode. Listen. What is this bytecode? No, it is an intermediate code, not source code, not executable code. It is not source code. It is not executable code. This is what? An intermediate code. Okay. It is not following any operating system representations. It is not following any operating system representations, including Windows. Why am I specifying Windows? I compiled my program on which operating system? Windows. Even though we compile our program on Windows operating system, the generated dot class files are having bytecode which does not follow Windows representation. That means it is not operating system dependent. That bytecode is not having any particular operating system representations. Why? Because it is not an executable code. It is not executable code. This is what? Bytecode is an intermediate code. It is not target code. It is not mission code. It is what? An intermediate code. It is not source code. It is not source code. It is an intermediate code. At the same time, it is not following any of the operating system representations, including Windows. Why? Because we compiled our Java program on Windows, even though, but Windows representations are not available inside like what now? Dot class file. That bytecode is not having Windows operating system representations. Clear up to now? Open your mouth, sir. Clear? Right, good. Let's come for the next point. Up to now, it's okay. Now let's understand this execution. Execution in the sense, who is executing our Java program, sir? Keep aside that point here. Java engine. Stay with this point. JVM, later I will talk about JVM. What is that? Stay with this point. Execution. Java engine. Something else. Something else. Some engine. In which way C engine is available. In the same way, one mission is running Java program. Okay. Something is performing execution. This execution is going on Linux operating system. Am I right or not? So some engine is performing this execution which is on Linux operating system. Am I right or not? That engine is installed on Linux operating system or not? That execution engine is available on Linux operating system or not? As it is available on Linux operating system, it can understand only which representations? No, Linux representations. Am I right or not? Similarly, here second execution, there also execution engine is available which is installed on what? Unix operating system. So it can understand only which representations? No, Unix representations. Come on, next one. Execution, third execution. There also execution engine is available which is installed on top of what? Mac operating system. So which follows which representations? Mac representations only. Not understanding your intermediate code. Right. Last one, fourth one. Windows, that means execution engine is available, fourth execution, which is installed on top of what? Windows operating system. Am I right or not? Which is installed on the top of what? Windows operating system. So it can understand what? Windows representations. It can understand what? Windows representations. Clear up to now? Dot class file is a platform dependent or platform independent? Platform independent. It is not having any operating system representations. Clear? At the same time, if you want to run our Java program, some execution engine is required. That execution engine is dependent on the operating system or not? Execution engine, one time it is dependent on Linux operating system. In the second execution engine is depending on the Unix operating system. In the third execution, dependent on the Mac representations. In the fourth, dependent on what now? Windows operating system. Sir, I will ask one question, try to answer for it. If you give right answer, then you can understand my concept now. What is that question there? Sir, we compiled my Java program on Windows operating system. Dot class file we are getting. Now tell me, is it possible to execute directly this dot class file on my Windows operating system? Think and give answer. Waiting for your response. I'm not getting clarity. What you are saying? Again, I'm asking to you, I'm saying some information to you. This dot class file contains what? An intermediate code, not following any operating system representations, including Windows. It means that the dot class file, even though it was compiled on Windows operating system, it doesn't have Windows representations. That's the greatness of bytecode. Now, immediately what I'm asking there, here execution is going on Windows operating system. Now I'm asking directly, is it possible to execute this dot class file on Windows operating system now? Put in your mind. Dot class file has which representations? Do you have any operating system representations in the dot class file? Okay. Windows representation is available. That means execution is going on Windows. There also be Java engine is, that means some engine is available. Execution engine is required which representations? If you want to execute Java program, that the code must have which representations? Windows representation. Here execution engine must require Windows representations or not? Now what I am asking there, is it possible to execute this dot class file on Windows operating system? Think. I'm asking simple question, but I give you some kind of confusion to you. I'm checking how many of you are come out from that confusion. Once again, I'm telling to you, you have to give right answer again. I will not leave you without getting total clarity. Stay with me. I compiled Java program on which operating system? Which file is generated? Dot class file contains which operating system representations? Dot class file contains bytecode. What is the nature of the bytecode? intermediate code. Intermediate code is followed by any operating system or not followed by any operating system. Okay, it is very clear that this bytecode doesn't have operating system representations. Clear or not? Okay, this is one part. Keep aside. If you want to execute any code on Windows operating system, that code must have which representations? Windows. This is basic point. Here I understand. Here only we are missing. If you want to run any code on Windows operating system, that code must have which representations? Windows representations. Clear or not? If you want to run any code on Windows operating system, that code must have which representations? Windows representations. Clear or not? Now my question is what? Is it possible to execute this dot class file on Windows operating system? Yeah, exactly. Some of you are in my track now. Now tell me, is it possible to execute this dot class file on Windows operating system? Don't think about it for compilation Windows and for execution we are using Windows. Don't think like that. The dot class file nature we have to understand. You already completed our compilation. Dot class file we have to understand. What is the nature of the dot class file? It doesn't follow any operating system. But if you want to execute something on Windows operating system, Windows representations are required. How can we execute that dot class file on Windows operating system directly? Possible or not possible? Not possible. Your answer must be what? Not possible. Following or not? Now I will give clarity. Now try to understand it. Now you can understand easily my topic if you understand this question. Now come for the first execution, guys. Here, execution engine is available or not? Which is installed on which operating system? Linux operating system. So it must have bytecode in which representations? Linux representations. If you want to execute bytecode on Linux, no, that bytecode must have which representations? Linux representations. But your dot class file contains bytecode, it doesn't have any representations. Is it possible to execute this bytecode exactly on Linux operating system? Possible or not possible? Not possible. That we have to say now. Now come for the second execution. Second execution engine is installed on top of which operating system? Unix operating system. So it must have which bytecode? Unix represented bytecode we need to have. But we are providing which bytecode? A neutral bytecode we are providing or not? An intermediate code, neutral bytecode which does not follow any operating system representations. Tell me, is it possible to execute as is this bytecode on Unix operating system? Possible or not possible? Open your mouth. No, not possible. Similarly, now come for this third execution is going in on Mac operating system. There also execution engine must require what? Mac representation. But which dot class file we are providing is a neutral bytecode or operating system dependent bytecode? Neutral bytecode, not related to any operating system. Is it possible to execute this bytecode on Mac operating system? No, not possible. Next one, last fourth execution. Execution engine was installed on what? Windows operating system. So it must require which representations? Windows represent bytecode with the Windows representations. But here we are having which bytecode? An intermediate code. That is neutral bytecode, not related to any of the operating system. Even though we compile on Windows, but it does not generate Windows represented bytecode. Am I right or not? Okay. Whenever we are getting neutral bytecode, if we give as is this bytecode on Windows operating system, is it possible for execution engine to execute that neutral bytecode on Windows operating system? Not possible. Getting my point or not? But I want to make it is executable. I want to make it is executable, then what I have to do? That's the question here, what I'm telling there. I want to execute this one. So, if you want to execute this program, what setup we require? What setup we require? Please translate here. What setup we require? But here we are having neutral bytecode. If you want to run it on Linux operating system, we need to convert our bytecode from neutral nature to Linux representations or not? Tell me guys, we need to convert our program from neutral bytecode to Linux represented bytecode or not? Come on, we require that conversion or not? Okay, similarly in the second execution, we need to convert our program bytecode from neutral representations to Unix representations or not? Similarly, we need to convert our program from neutral nature to Mac representations or not? Similarly, we need to convert our program from Windows that means neutral representation to Windows representations or not? Tell me, I'm asking to you only. Right, very good, nice. You are very good students, you are responding properly. But sometimes you are lacking. So what we required between dot class file and execution now, we required some conversions or not? We need some conversions or not? Exactly, that conversions here I want to provide. For conversions purpose, I'm going to take some converter. Conversion is done by a mission that is called as what? Converter. I want a converter. In another phrase, I can say translator. A translation. Conversion is nothing but what? Translation. So I need to go for translator or not? Converter or translator. Both are same. Don't worry. So here also we required one converter or not? Okay, fine. Here also we required one converter or not? Okay, fine. Here also we required one converter or not? Good, sir. Good, good. Let me write this information here. Now this is like what? No, one converter. Simply I want to say name like this: converter or translator. Anything we can use. Now here also we required what? One converter. Here also we required what? Converter. Here also we required what? Converter. We required this. Completed. Translator is required. So with the setup of this translator, what they are able to do? Let me explain that. First we compiled our Java program on what? Which operating system? Windows operating system. Which file we are getting? Dot class file we are getting. Dot class file nature is what? Which contains what? Bytecode. What is the nature of the bytecode? It is an intermediate code. It is not following any operating system representations, including Windows. So that bytecode is neutral bytecode. Am I right or not? Okay, good. If we give this neutral bytecode to this converter, first converter, then what this converter will do? This converter will convert the bytecode from neutral nature to what nature? You know, Linux represented bytecode. This converter will convert that neutral bytecode to Linux represented bytecode. Clear or not? Linux represented bytecode is called as native code. Linux represented bytecode is what? Native code. Linux native code. Linux native code. Why? Because the code is as per Linux representation, it's native to Linux. Similarly, okay, fine. When Linux represented native code, that means bytecode, if we give to this execution engine, then execution engine can execute that program or not? Then the execution engine will execute that Linux representations or not? Finally, we are getting output or not? Come on, guys. We are able to get output or not? Similarly, when we execute our Java program on Windows operating system, we are getting dot class file. The dot class file contains bytecode. It is an intermediate code. It is not following any operating system representations, including Windows. If we want to execute this, if we want to execute this particular neutral bytecode on Unix operating system, we have to give this bytecode to this second converter. What is the job of this converter? Now tell me. What is the job of the converter? Translates bytecode from neutral nature to Unix representations. Unix represented bytecode, if we give to execution engine, then it will execute the Unix representations or not. Then we are able to get outputs or not. Fine. Similarly, third case, whenever we are giving this bytecode to this converter, third converter, tell me what is the job of the third converter? Translates bytecode from which nature? Neutral nature to which nature? MAC representations. Neutral representations to MAC, intermediate representations to MAC representations. So that native code will come. So execution engine will execute that and it able to provide the required output or not. Next one. Now come for this one, another one here. Neutral bytecode will be given to the last converter. What is the job of this converter? What is the job of this converter? It translates the program from intermediate representation to Windows representation. That is Windows native code. That is what? Windows native code. So that Windows native code will be given to the execution engine. The execution engine will execute that Windows representations on Windows operating system or not. Then it able to give right outputs or not. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? Good. Listen carefully here. How these converters are available to us? How these converters will come to us? Have I to install these converters separately along with my Java software? Or what I have to do if you want to get that converter? Without that conversion, we can't execute our Java program. Without that converter, we are unable to execute our Java program. With the help of that converter only, we are able to execute the Java program. Am I right or not? Right, sir. Then how these converters are coming there? How these converters are coming there? Please, all of you put more concentration. I'm giving very good conclusion. Java software is providing both this conversion and execution. Both. Java software is providing both this conversion and execution as a single one. Here also be Java software is providing this conversion and as well as execution as a single. Who is providing this one? Java software is providing this conversion and execution as a single one. that single component to perform these two actions, one single component was provided by Java software. Conversion and execution together provided by Java software as a single component. That single component is called as JVM. That single component is called as what? Then get single component is what? Again say, now tell me, single component is what? What is JVM? Perfect, sir. Perfect answer. JVM is what? Java Virtual Machine. Before that, we have to add one more statement. JVM will do converting bytecode from neutral nature to native code, neutral bytecode to native code. Terminology is important. JVM is performing two actions. One is converting bytecode to native code and executing native code. Tell me, sir, JVM is having two actions. What are the two actions now? Tell me. Conversion and execution. What is conversion? What it is converting? Bytecode to native code. And what it is executing? Native code it is executing. Native code is nothing but executable code. Native code is nothing but executable code. That is not like C and C++. Some code is executed by execution engine. Got my point or not? Okay. So we understood JVM is having two tasks. What are the two tasks here? Conversion as well as what? Execution. That's okay, good. Understand this point here. I'm asking one question. Think one or two times, then only give the answer. Don't give the blind answers. On floor, don't give answers there by thinking in air. Think properly and give answers. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm asking one first question. How many times we compiled Java program? How many times we executed our Java program? 4 times. 4 times we executed Java program. Good. Now tell me, compilation was performed on how many operating systems? One operating system. But executions are happened in how many operating systems? 4 operating systems we have done. Of course, last one is the same Windows operating system. Execution is a Windows operating system, but we have to take it as a count like what now? Compilation is one operating system. Execution is on another operating system, but both the same operating systems. Even the same operating system, process would be very same. Okay. Compilation is on one operating system, but execution is on another operating system. Am I right or not? Platform dependent programming language or platform independent programming language? Java is what? Platform independent or Java platform dependent? Platform independent programming language. Getting clarity or not? Now my actual question is, these are not my questions, this is just ground preparation. Now my actual question is, listen carefully. How many times here we executed our Java program? 4 times. 4 times we have used JVMs or not? 4 times execution JVMs we have used or not? Here my question is, in this diagram, how many JVMs I have used for 4 times execution? Is that only one JVM or 4 JVMs? Come on, think and give answer. Is that only one JVM or 4 JVMs? One JVM or 4 JVMs? Think properly and give answer. One JVM or 4 JVMs? One JVM or 4 JVMs? 1 or 4? 1 or 4? 1 or 4? But my answer is 4. If my brother is saying this type of answer, even after completion of this much of explanation, I'll beat him first. Now tell me, one JVM or 4 JVMs? 1 JVM or 4 JVMs? I want to check your confidence level also, whether you are stick up with your answers or not. 1 JVM or 4 JVMs? What my online people are thinking, no, let me check it. They are saying 1 JVM, I think you are not visible that. Anyway, I am seeing that. 1 JVM, 1 JVM, 4 JVMs, 4 JVMs, 1 JVM. There also be mixed answers. Come on, guys. Online people are good or offline people are good? I want to check now. Right. 1 JVM or 4 JVMs if we come, no. I give an answer 4, sir. Still, any of you are saying one answer, one is the answer? Any of you are stick with one is an answer? Please raise your hands. How many of you are saying one is the right answer? How many of you are saying that? Please. Good. Nice. Now I'm explaining that. Again, I will ask later on question. Now tell me. Now tell me, sir. JVM is having how many parts now? JVM has how many parts? 2 parts. What are the 2 parts now? Conversion and execution. Please concentrate here. What this converter is doing? Converting bytecode to native code. Please remember this, bytecode to native code. In the sense, native code is a local operating system dependent code or not? It means that the conversion requires some dependency on the local operating system or not? Tell me, yeah. That conversion is dependent on the local operating system or not? Okay, remember this point. Execution is going on. Execution engine is installed on top of what? Linux. Okay, execution engine is executing which code now? Linux code or any other code? Linux code. That means it is dependent on the Linux or not? Come on, guys. Both the conversion mechanism and execution mechanism, both are dependent on the local operating system or not? And that means both are dependent on the local operating system in the sense JVM is depending on local operating system or not? Come on, JVM. First JVM is on Linux based or not? Similarly, second JVM is on what? Unix based. Similarly, third JVM is what? Mac. Similarly, fourth JVM is what? Windows operating system. Got my point or not? Now tell me here. Again, I'm asking there. Is that one JVM or four JVMs? One JVM or four JVMs now? One JVM or four JVMs? Right. Right answer is four JVMs, not one JVM. Are still people are saying one JVM? Okay, sir. For your kind of information, for your clarity purpose, I'm telling one statement. By that you can understand it. Java programming language is a platform independent programming language. What is that? Java programming language is platform independent programming language. But JVM is platform dependent. What's up? Come again. What is the statement I made? Java is a platform independent programming language. But JVM is what? JVM is what? Platform dependent programming language. Now here, now tell me in this diagram, how many executions I have done? 4 executions I have done. Well, that's very clear. How many platforms I have taken? Same platform or 4 platforms now? 4 platforms I have taken. Now tell me how many JVMs I have used here? 4 JVMs or 1 JVM? 4 JVM. Now tell me in our overall execution, 1 JVM or 4 JVMs now? 1 JVM or 4 JVMs now? That's it. That's a great answer we have to follow. So 4 JVMs here we are having. So finally the point is like what no? Java programming language is platform independent programming language. But JVM is what? Platform dependent. Not only JVM, compiler is also platform dependent. JVM is also platform dependent. The components which are available inside the Java software, compiler, JVM, some other tools combination is nothing but Java software. The total Java software, I'm not talking Java programming language, I'm talking Java software, which you have to install on your computer. The total Java software is what? Platform dependent. Java software is what? Platform dependent. Mind my points clearly. Java programming language is different. Java software is different. Java programming language is platform independent, but JVM is platform dependent. That is, total Java software is what? Platform dependent. Sir, your theory is excellent, sir. Understood clearly. But one person still doubts, sir. You're saying JVM dependent and Java software is dependent. Still somewhere else one percentage is still I'm doubtful, sir. Can you make it clear even that 1% is also? My Hona, don't worry. Come here. All of you listen carefully. Everybody listen carefully. I want to install Java software, sir. Java download. Java downloads. I want to download my Java software, so I'll open the Java Oracle website, of course. This is Java downloads. It's not visible. Okay, don't worry. I will increase that. Okay. I think now it is clear, right? Visible? Right, sir. All of you guys, observe this clearly. I want to download the Java software. which version of the Java, that doesn't matter. Here 18.0.1.1 downloads. That means Java 18 is available or not? By default we can understand in our classes up to 18 version. I'll discuss. Don't worry for that. Okay. Now come for this. All of you guys understand this point here. Let me go for some other here. If you want to install some Java software here, some download links are available. Please observe this download links, guys. What is this one? Download 18 what? Download, what is that? Linux. All these are Linux. Don't worry. Learn more about automating the downloads of JDK or 18 license. One more thing. Oracle.com. One minute, guys. Okay, we are getting that releases. Now see this one. Here, these are the downloading packages, no? Okay. But here the downloadable links are given as per what? Linux. What next one? Mac. Next one is what? Windows. See, if Java software is a platform independent, why they are giving these downloads as per the operating systems? No? Think about it. As per our thinking, if Java software is a platform independent, why they are giving the downloadable softwares and installation softwares as per the operating system? So what's the meaning of it? Java software is what? Platform dependent or platform independent? Platform dependent. Java software is what? Platform dependent. Java software is what? Platform dependent. Okay, fine. For example, observe carefully. If I click on this one, sir. If I click on this one, all of you observe carefully. If I click on this particular one, or else at the bottom here, here links are available. If I click on this one, for example, this link, which Java software will be installed on my system will be downloaded. Which software will be downloaded? Is that Linux related software will be downloaded or not? Come on, guys. Similarly, if I click on this particular one, for example, this one here, if I click on either of these, then now tell me which Java software will be downloaded in my system. Mac operating system dependent Java software will be downloaded or not? Now tell me, if I click on this one, what I am able to get there? Definitely Windows related Java software will download in my system or not? What is the meaning of Linux related Java software? What is the meaning of Unix related Java software? What is the meaning of Mac related software? What is the meaning of Windows related software? What is the meaning of it now? In Linux related Java software, Linux dependent JVM will come. In Windows represented Java software, Windows represented JVM will come. In Unix represented Java software, Unix related Java software, that means JVM will come. You want to come inside the class? Come. Understand my point here now? So, which is software here we downloaded, the respective operating system supported JVM and a compiler will be downloaded. For example, my operating system is Windows operating system. If I download Linux related Java software, is it possible for me to install that on my system? Is it possible to install Linux related Java software on Windows operating system? No, not possible. Why? Because Linux related compiler will not be sit on top of Windows operating system. Linux related JVM will not sit on top of what now? Windows operating system. Am I right or not? So before going to install your Java software, first confirm which operating system is your operating system. As per that operating system only, we have to download Java software. There we have to install the respective Java software. Then by that we are able to get our required information. Finish, sir. Now it is completed. This topic is completed. Now tell me clearly, all of you now tell me, C and C++ are what? Platform dependent programming languages. But Java is what? Platform independent programming language. Points are clear or not? Okay, now tell me, Java programming language is a platform independent programming language. Java program is platform independent, but Java software is what? Platform dependent. JVM is what? Platform dependent. Java compiler is what? Platform dependent. But our written program is what? Written program is what? Platform independent. Our written program is independent, but Java software is what? Platform dependent. So without knowing this point, we're like, can I go for first program execution? That means now the concept is perfect or not? Blindly don't install Java software in your system. With the concept, you have to install the Java software in your system. Then only you are able to get much clarity. Okay, leave this one. This is okay, fine. Next, I have one interview question now, as per our discussion. What's that interview question? That interview question would be very clear. You have to answer for my questions. What are the differences between .exe file and .class file? Information is available with you or not? Information is available with you or not? Guys, just if you follow these interview questions, your interviews will be completed. Throughout our core Java, maybe 150 to 200 number of, or maybe nearly 300 interview questions I can provide. If you prepare only these interview questions, your interviews will be completed. In interview hall also, 70% of the answers if you give, definitely they will select you, not even 100%. Not required to give all 100% of the questions. So, but if you follow as it is my questions, if you follow, definitely you will complete your interviews, not more than this. But these classes, I'm planning not only for interviews, I'm planning for these classes after getting job inside the company to work with the project, how much knowledge is required up to the time provided. You can keep 4 to 5 years of experience with my knowledge in our resume. You can survive in our companies. Don't worry for that. But don't give more than 5 years of experience. If you give more than 5 years of experience, they will appoint you as a team leader for you. With a very good fake experience, and how it is possible for you to exist as a team lead in the company, they will play football with you. Immediately, next month you have to search for another job. Sure. So less than 5 years is suggestible as a fake experience, I'm telling you, right? Let's come for this. Now tell me guys, answers here we have to give there. Then what exactly that answers here I'm providing? No. Now tell me, you only give answers for this question. Now tell me, sir, where .exe file is available and where Java, where .class files are existed? .exe files are existed in C and C++. Clear. Next one, .class files are existed in Java. That's good. Second point, what they contains. What .exe file contains and what .class file contains, that we have to understand. .exe file contains. Tell me, .exe file contains executable code, directly executable code. Then execution engines can execute directly that code. That's okay. But .class file contains what? .class files contains bytecode. What is this bytecode, sir? What is this bytecode? It is an intermediate code. It is an intermediate code. Is it executable code? It is not executable code. Please remember this. Some of you might have confusion at this point only. Previously, you might be thought bytecode is directly executable code. But now I'm giving confirmation. Bytecode is not directly executable code. This is not source code. This is not mission code. This is an intermediate code. Even the symbols are also like what now? Some different symbols. Not in source code format, not in like what now? Mission code here. It's not completely high level language. It's not completely low level language. It is an intermediate code. At the same time, it is independent of the operating systems. Okay, good. Then third point is what? What is the third point here? We have to understand clearly. Then, okay, what they are having, we understood. But what is the nature of that file? Platform dependent or platform independent, that we have to understand. Now tell me, .exe files are what? Platform dependent or platform independent? Platform dependent. Next one is .class files are .class files are what? Platform independent. These answers are sufficient. But I can give one more answer. But anyway, theoretically we can understand. Don't think too much about this one. Here the point is what? This is general point only, but still I'm telling there. .exe files are providing less security. Theoretically we can understand now. In the future, when I'm going to talk about JVM architecture, there I will give much clarity about this point. But as a point I'm telling there, .exe files are providing lesser security, whereas .class files are providing more security. Why? Because in general, what happened there? Most of the viruses related softwares are .exe files. In general, I'm telling you, in general. Don't take any specification. In general, I'm telling there, most of the viruses related files are like what not .exe files in general. But no virus file will come along with what? .class file. In that point of view, we can think of it like .exe files are providing less security, and another one is what? .class files are providing more security. This is one reason. Another reason also I'm telling there. When compared with the C programming language, Java programming language is providing more security. Even feature point of view, when compared with the C programming language, Java programming language is providing what? More security. Am I right or not? Right, sir. Right. More security here we are able to get. Whenever Java is providing more security, automatically .class files are providing more security than .exe files are not. As .exe files are used by C programming language and .class files are provided by Java programming language. As Java is more secure than C programming language, we can conclude that .class files are more secure than what? .exe file. Clear or not? That's okay, fine. So this is like what I'm telling there. Platform dependent, platform independent, and .class files and .exe file. This total content is completed, sir. Okay, don't worry. Maybe max of tomorrow materials are available. Not today. Tomorrow materials are available there. Then you can collect it. We can purchase that materials at our office there. Tomorrow I'll make available all materials now. Nearly 890 pages or something. Up to Java 14 version I covered there in that material point. But remaining versions 15, 16, 17, 18 I will give as a separate handout to all of you. When I'm going to talk about these features. 15, 16, 17, 18 pages. There I will give handouts. You don't worry, but you can take that material. Not today, tomorrow you can collect it anyway inside the class. Right at our office there. Right, sir. Let's come for this next point here. After completion of this particular one, listen carefully, all of you know. Difference number 5. Difference number 5. Okay, fine. Listen carefully, all of you know. This also be how to install Java. I will teach, sir. Don't worry for that. How to install Java? Don't worry for that. Now, let's come for the 5th point here. Simple point. It is not much important, but simple point. Try to understand it. No. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Everybody has to understand this point. Okay. You need to have some patience level to understand this point. Why? Because I need to take a somewhat long story. Everybody has to put concentration, then only you can understand. Okay. Now listen carefully, guys. Java doesn't support multiple inheritance is a statement. Sir, this is 4th class for me. 3rd class or 4th class. Now in this 4th class, it's directly you're talking about inheritance. Not even inheritance, multiple inheritance you are talking. Are you mad? You don't have common sense. You don't know how to teach Java. Question marks will come in your mind. Yes, definitely. With intentional, I included this punch. I have a caliber to introduce inheritance and I have a caliber to introduce multiple inheritance and everything I will give theoretically as of now. I'll make you to understand my actual concept. But it's a comparison. What I have to do? It's a comparison. Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. It might be supported by C++, but how do you support C++? We don't require. Too much internal we require. Understand my point here? But how Java is not supporting multiple inheritance, that point here I require. I need to understand this particular point. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Let's start the concept now. So before understanding Java doesn't support multiple inheritance, first we have to understand multiple inheritance. What is multiple inheritance? Before that, we have to understand what is inheritance. Before that, we have to understand where this inheritance is coming. All these points we have to understand. So, let me follow some steps now. Try to understand it. All of you listen carefully. In outside, object-oriented programming languages are available. Which programming languages? Object-oriented programming languages. Okay. Tell me, what is the best example for it? I cannot say Python is directly only object-oriented. Object-oriented, it's okay, but along with that, procedure-oriented. Leave it. Function-oriented. Leave it. C++ is an object-oriented. Then what? Java is the best example. My required information is Java. That's sufficient. Forget about all the other things. Java is an object-oriented programming language. How? How? Because Java follows some object-oriented features. No? Anyway, I'll give some clarity, try to understand it. If any programming language representing data in the form of objects as per object orientation principles. Come again. If any programming language allows to represent data in the form of objects as per object oriented principles, then that programming language is object oriented programming language. Statement. Are you understand? Are you getting the statement what I said to you? If any programming language allows its applications to represent the data in the form of objects as per object-oriented principles, then the programming language is called as what? Object-oriented programming language. Data will be stored in objects, sir. But while storing data inside the object, some rules and regulations here we have to follow. The rules and regulations are what? Object-oriented principles. Object-oriented features. What are the various object-oriented features actually? What are the various object-oriented features in general? I'm giving some list now. Try to understand it now. Class. Class is what? An object-oriented feature. Second one is what? Object. Object is also like what? No, an object-oriented feature. And third one is like what? Encapsulation. What is that one? Encapsulation. Fourth one is abstraction. Fifth one is inheritance. And the sixth one is like what? No, polymorphism. Sixth one is what? No, polymorphism. Okay. Seventh one is available, but less number of people might be including that. Myself also, I'm going to include that, but it's one of the object-oriented feature. But most of the people are neglecting that. That is like what? No, message passing. But nobody is including this message passing in object orientation. But is one of the feature. Even we are also not to have much discussion on this message passing. It's useless concept only. But as a name, it is available. That's why I included that. Okay, sir. Now tell me here in object-oriented features, what? How many features are available overall? 7 features. Can you read out what are the 7 features now? Class. What next one? Object. What next one? Encapsulation. What next one? Abstraction. Next one. Inheritance. Next one. Polymorphism. Then next one. Message passing. Good. Good. Now here, out of all the 7 things, which one is required for me now? Now, which one is required for me? Inheritance. Why? Because I need to move for what? Multiple inheritance. That's why here itself I need to understand like what now? Inheritance. But before that, one small point, guys. All of you have to do this clearly. In Java, we are going to write the programs with the classes only. We are able to write the programs with the classes only. Definitely classes. Inside the classes only, we are going to write the program. How to declare a class? Just simply syntax I'm telling there. Class employee. It is representing what? Employee class. Class is nothing but a group representation. You're all students, sir. So I can take class student. This is a classroom or not? Inside the classroom, multiple people are available or not? So it's a class. Class in the sense a group representation. Okay? Class of employees. Class of students. Class of like what now? Customers. Class of accounts. Any group representation is nothing but what? A class. Not more than that. Sufficient. Inside the class, we are going to write variables and methods. Class employee you have taken, for example. Then here, immediately what are the variables now? Int ENO. That means every employee must have employee number or not? Next one, string ename. Every employee should have employee name or not? Next one is a string, that means a float employee salary. Every employee must have some salary or not? Next one, string, every employee must have an address or not? Like this and so on and so on and so on. Data. If you want to represent data more, we can take more number of variables. Fine. Next one, I want to create an employee in my database. I want to insert one employee in my database. So it is an action or not? Inserting an employee into the database is an action or not? Action. Actions would be represented in the form of methods. That means functions. Actions would be represented in the form of what? Methods. In Java, methods. In other programming language, maybe a function. But difference are available, not required now. Void create employee. I will take it. Of course, some parameters are also available, but we don't require that. Next one is, I want to delete that employee from my database. Create employee in the sense inserting an employee. I want to delete that employee from my database. So here what we have to do, void delete employee. To delete employee, primary key is sufficient. Am I right or not? Primary key in the sense like what? No, int employee number is sufficient. On the basis of employee number, we can delete that employee. Employee number should be an unique one. Understand my point here? Similarly, after a few days of time, I want to update that employee details. Address details, maybe salary details, maybe I want to have some updations there. So here what we have to do there, void update employee. Write some code, some instructions here we are able to write. If you want to update that, some parameters also be required. Example I'm telling here. Now tell me here, class I have taken employee or not? Inside the class I have taken variables and methods I have taken or not? Variables are representing data, methods are representing actions. Variables are representing data, methods are representing what? Actions. So my point is what is a class? If I ask this question, you have to answer for it. It is a Java feature which includes variables and methods. Where for what purpose variables are available? To represent data. For what purpose methods are available? To represent a particular action. That's it. Simple. What is class in the sense? Some information I give 2 points. Collection of variables and methods as a single unit. Variables are for data representation, methods are for actions, some activities, some functionalities. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Okay. Whenever this class is available, if you want to access something from this class now, you have to create object. Without creating object, it is not possible to access the data of that employee. We have to create object. How we are going to create object? Class name here, we have to take employee EMP reference variable is equal to new employee constructor. This total part is what? Constructor. I'll teach later on, not immediately. This is a statement we are going to use to create an employee object. The single object is representing one employee data. Class employee is a generalization. Object of that employee class is what? A specialization. It tells about one employee. 100 employee objects I created. It telling about like what? No, 100 employees. Okay. Class or object. What is it I given that? Okay. Encapsulation and abstraction not required now. Not required now. Then directly I want to move for what? Inheritance. Okay. Right, sir. Right. What exactly the meaning of inheritance? Listen, all of you know. If you go to any bank application, banking example, account is available. Can you tell me guys, how many types of accounts are available? How many types of accounts are available? 2 types of accounts as per your minimal knowledge. Current account, savings account. This is one type of classification. Another type of classification I am asking there. Student account, salary account, loan account. Am I right or not? Different types of accounts are available. Okay. These 2 examples keep separately. Later on I will introduce the topic. First of all, as of now, I want to take account, current account, and a savings account. These are account types or not? Okay. Here I am telling there. First, I am telling everybody, put more concentration on simple point here. I need to give clarity, then only I will come for my point. What is the point here I am telling now? Account is available, sir. Next one is like what now? Savings account. And another one is what? Current account. You can observe this clearly. These 3 are 3 items, 3 entities. In general, I am talking entities. I'll give later on what is that entity, but as of now, understand entities. How many entities I have taken? 3 entities I have taken. Account, savings account, and current account. If I want to put parent and child relationship, which one is parent and which things are child's? Now tell me here, as per your minimum common sense. Account is what? Parent. And this savings account and current accounts are what? Child's. The point is clear or not? Okay, fine. That means relationship is exist or not? Relationship is exist or not? Think of it. This account is a class. This savings account is also a class. Current account is also a class. In Java, we can take like this. Why? Because first of all, account is representing one group, where savings account is also representing another subgroup. Current account is also representing another subgroup. But account, savings account, and current account all must have some relationship or not. See, for example, savings account, current account, both are having some common properties or not. Savings account and current account both have some common properties or not. Say, for example, in a savings account might be interest rate is what for savings account 5%. For example, current account interest rate is what 2%. Example, I'm telling that interest rate point of view variation is available or not. No, not only that, some properties are common. Employee number, and account number, account holder name, account number, account holder name. And then after what next one here? Account holder address. All these are common properties or not? Of course, their values are different, but property names are same or not? In both. So whenever we are having same commonalities there, that commonalities must be declared inside the parent. Then we can share all these commonalities to child. But if you want to share, if you want to bring some variables and methods from one class to another class, for example, in account properties might be 100 properties are available, sir, about this account. Out of these 100 properties, no, 50 are common. Remaining 50 are variable. That means 25 are common. 75 are different. Now here, 75 are different. And here also be 75 are different. 75 are different. But here I need to have 100 properties. As it is, in a parent, whatever the 100 are available, where 25 are common, 75 are different at each and every child class now. Understand my point here? But I want to bring the 25 from parent to child automatically, then I want to utilize the 75 different here. Get my point or not? So 75 different we have to declare 75 here. What exactly difference is available? We can declare 75. Here also we declare 75. That's okay. But we need to get the 25 from parent. Here 25 are common. Am I right or not? Now here 25 are common. The 25 are here we have to bring from parent to child. If you want to bring that common 25 from parent to child automatically without redeclaring, there we need to have some relationship. There we need to have what relationship? Some relationship. Here also we need to have some relationship. Am I right or not? This relationship is called as inheritance relationship. This relationship is called as what? Inheritance relationship. Now tell me, here only lines I provided now. I need to give some symbol. Now tell me, out of this total scenario, which one is parent and which one is child, sir? Now tell me. Account is parent, savings account is child. So I need to represent that parent-child relationship or not? Right, to represent that parent-child relationship, here we have to use arrow. Arrow header part is always representing parent. Arrow Tyler part is always representing child. So if I represent like this, account is a parent and savings account is what? Child. Similarly, now here if I represent like this, sir, now tell me what is parent and what is child here? Here in this relationship, which one is parent and which one is a child? Account is a parent and which one is child? Current account is what now? Child. Okay, now I want to use some Java terminology. In Java, there is no concept like a base class and a derived classes, parent class and a child. Such kind of terminologies are not available. In Java, which terminology is available? Parent class is called as a super class. Parent class is called as what? Super class. But child classes are called as like what? No? Subclass. Subclasses. Now tell me, how many parent classes are available here? One parent. How many child classes are available here? Two child classes are available. One parent and how many child classes? No? Two child classes are existed. Clear or not? So finally, now I want to give a definition for inheritance relation. Now try to understand it. Now, what is the definition here? Everybody has to put constellation here. Definition is what? Inheritance is a relation or not? Inheritance is a relation between classes or not? Inheritance is a relation between classes. What it will do? It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class for reusability purpose. For what purpose? Reusability purpose. Now tell me, inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to what one? Another class. From one class to another class in order to improve code reusability. In order to improve code reusability. Come on, guys. Once again, now tell me, inheritance is what? Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve what? Code reusability. Observe carefully. Relation between two classes. It will bring variables and methods. That means data, variables and methods from one class to another class. In between these two classes now, one class is giving variables and methods to another. Another class is getting variables and methods from another. Am I right or not? One class is giving, another class is taking. Am I right or not? The class which is giving variables and methods is called as superclass. The class which is taking variables and methods is called as what? Subclass. Now tell me, it will bring variables and methods from one class. Now one class in the sense like what? No, superclass. To another class. Another class is nothing but what? No, subclass. To subclass in order to improve what? Interviewer may ask you, what is the purpose of inheritance? What advantage you are getting from inheritance? Code reusability. Declare variables and methods in superclass. Reuse that variables and methods inside the subclass without redeclaration. Get my point or not? Without redeclaring variables and methods, we can reuse variables and methods from superclass to subclass. Example I'm telling, try to understand it clearly. Simple example. Class A I have taken. Am I right or not? Now here, int I is equal to 10, for example, int j is equal to 20. Leave it. Next one is what I am taking there. Class B I have taken. Now here, I want to reuse I and j variable. So here what I will do, int k is equal to I plus j. Where I declare I and j, sir, now tell me. In a class K, where I'm using that I and j, in a class B. But when it is possible to reuse variables and methods of one class in another class, when it is possible, when they are having relationship, which relationship? Parent-child relationship. That means which relationship now? Inheritance relationship. Am I right or not? When both the classes are having inheritance relationship, then only we can reuse that variables and methods from one class to another class. But do you have any relationship like this now? At present, have I provided any relationship between A and B? Both are independent classes or not? So now here we are able to get error now. But if I make a relation between A and B, then this concept is valid. Now here my intention is, I want to say class B is a child for class A. That means here what I will do, which keyword I need to use there? Extends a keyword. Now tell me, what is the meaning of this particular statement here? Class B extends A. What is the meaning of it? Class B extends A. What is the meaning of it? What is superclass and what is subclass here? A is superclass and B is what? Subclass. A is superclass and B is what? Subclass. So I can reuse variables and methods of class A in class B or not? I can reuse variables and methods of class A in a class B or not? This is nothing but reusability. Code reusability. For example, if I and J, that means if extends relation is not available here in between class A and class B, is it possible to reuse variables I and J in class B? Is it possible to get variables and methods from class A to class B? No, I have to redeclare. I have to redeclare in class with that I and j. But by providing this extends relationship, all variables and methods of class K are available to class B or not. So this is nothing but like what now? Code reusability. Yes, sir. Some of your batteries are down. I don't know what's the reason for it. It's early morning time. Moreover, content is very good, but why you are not active? Anyway, once again, let me talk about these points here, about this inheritance concept here. Tell me, what is object-oriented programming language? What is object-oriented programming language? If any programming language representing data in the form of objects as per object-oriented principles, then the programming language is what? Object-oriented programming language. How many object-oriented features are available? 7. What are the 7 object-oriented features? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and message passing. Okay, good. Now here I require directly inheritance. I don't require to talk again and again about class and object that I discussed. All right, directly. Can you tell me what is inheritance? Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will bring variables and methods from one class to another class. Here one class is what? One class is what? Super class. Another class is what? Subclass. Tell me the class which is giving variables and methods to out is called as what? Super class. The class which is taking variables and methods in is what? Subclass here. Okay, fine. Good. So what is the advantage of this inheritance? Code reusability. What is the meaning of code reusability? Declare code in super class, reuse that code in subclasses. Declare code in a super class, reuse that code in what now? Subclass. For example, if your parents are having 1 crore rupee, your parents are having 1 crore rupee, or else might be 100 acres of land is available with your parent. Your parents are so sound party. Who are eligible to reuse that? You are eligible to reuse that or not? Your parents are, why? Because they are earning that, right? They will not consume it. But who will consume it? Child will consume it. Am I right or not? So because of that reason only, all parents are lost their properties. Because of you only. Because of you only. Because of your engineering course. Because of courses at Durga shop. Because of your unemployment, all properties of your friends are lost. Of course, later on you will regain them. Later on you will regain them. Sir, one small story I want to say to you about this particular point. Anyway, situation is coming. In my village, my family is okay, somewhat better when compared with all neighbors. We had some education and we have some money. Everything is okay. Along with me, another family is also existed. There might be 2 of brothers. They came to Hyderabad, they learned courses with me. Then I'm teaching Java, almost it was happened 6 to 7 years back. They learned courses at Durga Sir, and myself is a teacher for them. They completed courses and they got selected in companies, they are working. When the 2 brothers are in BTech, both are BTech completed. When they are in BTech, they sell their 1 acre of land to us. My father has purchased it. Okay. Then 2 brothers came to here. The free education I provided. They completed courses and they selected. One person was selected in HCL. Another person was selected in Amdoc, Pune. Amdoc, completed. So 3 to 4 years of time they worked there. Fortunate or unfortunate, 2 years of time pandemic. Recently, 2 months before, 2 brothers' father came to my father. He asked him, 6 years back, I sell my 1 acre of land to you. Now I had sufficient money. Of course, it's because of your child only. My children are grown. So now I have sufficient money. Can I get the same land, 1 acre of land back? I will give same money to you. My father has given it. Myself, my entire family likes about their intention. What they lost, again they are trying to reget. I asked him, Especially I asked my uncle, why you are trying to get the same 1 acre of land? We have so many lands there are available at our village. Now, why you are not purchasing them? Ask him, no. What I lost, I want to get it back. Understand their intention. Understand their intention. That you have to do. That you have to make your parents proud. Because of you, if your parents are lost anything, try to get it back. Then you will be appreciated. Your parents will be proud. I want to see such kind of intentions. Everybody will come to Amirpet and everybody will learn courses, everybody will get jobs. Sir. Once you are getting money, neglecting parents is totally worst thing. Even though you are in so much heights, you should give respect to your parents, not only your parents, your neighbors, and a childhood who are surrounding with you. Everybody are respectable in your point of view. If you do that, you will be great. If you are not doing that, even though you are having 1,000 crores of rupees, entire village, 1,000 acres of land is a waste of money and waste of time. But if you give respect to the surrounding people, those who have seen surround, that means child, that will be good thing. Just I'm giving my opinion, guys. The remaining thing is about you, what you are thinking, right? That's okay. Thank you, guys. Time is up, and tomorrow we'll meet. Still, I have not included multiple inheritance. Just what is inheritance? I given required information I got. Then tomorrow directly I'll move to watch multiple inheritance. Be ready. Don't miss the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow class is also be multiple inheritance and remaining points I will cover. Don't miss the tomorrow's class also. Thank you. Tomorrow I'll meet. And one small information, but I don't like to say this one. But office people have given information to me last 2 days onwards. Sir, demo class are completed. Demo class are completed. Please can we message to the students? But actually, I don't like to talk about money-related things, no. But as per their force, I am giving one statement. We try to complete your registration process there. Otherwise, they will send notice. Actually, yesterday they want to send a notice. I stopped them. Don't send notices to my classroom there. And they will complete. They will go for the complete process there. But I'm requesting one more time. Try to complete the registration process. Why? Because one small thing. If one person is standing here and stopping the person due to the lack of money, I don't like that kind of environment. And you also don't provide such kind of situation for them. One 10th class failure person is stopping one BTech successfully completed person. I don't like such kind of environments and try to complete registration process without having such kind of situations now. Why? Because they have to do their job, but I'm unable to stop them. Up to now, okay. Next 1 or 2 days also, okay, I can stop them. But after that, I'm unable to stop them. Okay? Please try to complete it. It's a small request from my side. Okay? Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir. Tomorrow we'll meet. ఆయన ఓకే ఓకే ఒకసారి రమ్మని చెప్పండి guys, tell me definitely Prashant Singh, and you can watch videos. Every class is being recorded. Every class videos will be provided. Java full stack batch will be announced very soon, guys, but you can register with the core Java. When I'm going to start full stack, then I will include your core Java also in the full stack package. Don't worry. Atul, okay, you'll get it. Without knowledge of, yes, exactly. Tapas Ranjan, you can learn Java without having C and C++. Required basics I'm covering here. That's enough. Whatever the basics I'm taking on C and C++, that's more than sufficient. Not required to go for any separate course for C and C++. This is sufficient. Next one is process. I will talk. What's the process? Devendra. Sir, what process? I'm not understanding. What is the process there? Okay. More security, I'll give Ramkoti. I'll give that information there, not immediately. We need to have some information on Java, then only we can understand it. Don't worry for that. There are more than 100 interview questions you will get, sir. Devendra. Okay, all the answers are okay, no issues. Guys, then I'll be available now. You can raise your questions, then I'll give clarity. Java compilation to dot class file is done by compiler, not interpreter. Interpreter will come into the picture in execution part, not at compilation time. Manu, we provide Java full stack course, but actually we have a thought to provide full stack course, but as of now, try to join for core Java. Then later I'll include you. include you in the Java full stack package. Don't worry. Job placements in the sense that for offline people, we are providing the placements, like we are inviting number of companies, they'll come here, they will recruit the people. Don't worry for that. But online people also, we are giving intimation. If you come to Hyderabad, then it will be okay. 1 minute. Yeah. 1 minute, guys. Product companies for developers role. Yeah, product-based companies, developers role is depends on the company, guys. It's not like in any standard way. Definitely, right from in the product-based companies, what you have to do, right from starting point, ending point, you should be take care. You should be responsible person in the product-based. Depends on their architecture, of course. That is another one. Okay. Yeah, Pratik, and you will get a permanent link very soon, but still that demo link is going on. I'll give intimation officially when onwards that link is going to be changed. Don't worry for that. Darsha, then when I'm providing that permanent link, they're not required every day. But meanwhile, up to how many days I'm going to take this demo link, then up to that you have to register yourself. Avinash, then one time just send a request mail to Durga Soft Online. 1 minute. Durga Soft Online Training @gmail.com. Then they'll provide the course content, everything. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Classrooms learn them, and not mandatory, but I'll plan for it. I have a thought. Dependent. Independent. Dependent. అంటే మీ ఇంటెన్షన్ జావా సాఫ్ట్వేర్ .exe ఫైల్స్ ఉండొచ్చనే కదా. అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఉండొచ్చు. ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే జావా అనేది కొంతపాటు సి మీద ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేశారు, ఇంకొంతపాటు సిపిపి మీద, ఇంకొంతపాటు జావా పైన. ఈ మిక్సప్ అంతా ఉంటుంది. సో అక్కడ డెఫినెట్ గా డిపెండెంట్ సోర్సెస్ వస్తాయి, ఉంటుంది. అర్థం కాలేదు, చెప్పండి. అంటే ఏమైందండి, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇస్తాను ఒకసారి రోడ్ మ్యాప్ ఇస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు కోర్ జావా నేర్చుకుంటున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి అరాకిల్ కానీ ఈఓ టెక్నాలజీ కానీ ఎనీ టైం ఏ టైంలో ఉంటే ఆ టైం జాయిన్ అయిపోవచ్చు, ప్యారలల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఉంటాయి, స్టార్ట్ అయితే కొత్త బ్యాచ్ స్టార్ట్ అయితేనే ఉంటాయి కంటిన్యూస్ గా. వస్తాయి దాని గురించి ఇబ్బంది లేదు. అంటే మేము ఇచ్చిన ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ ఏంటంటే స్టూడెంట్స్ కి ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైం ఇచ్చి టైంలో రండి అనేది కాకుండా మార్నింగ్ 7 to 9 లో క్లాసెస్ స్టార్ట్ అయితేనే ఉంటాయి. మీ ఫ్లెక్సిబుల్ ఏ టైంలో ఏ బ్యాచ్ వస్తుందో ఆ బ్యాచ్ లో జాయిన్ అయిపోవచ్చు మీరు. అంత ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ ఉంది ఇక్కడ. ఎగ్జాక్ట్ 2 hours పెట్టి 2 hours రావాలనేది కాన్సెప్ట్ కాదు. ఇక మార్నింగ్ 7 to night 9 వరకు మల్టిపుల్ బ్యాచెస్ స్టార్ట్ అయితేనే ఉంటాయి, త్రూఅవుట్ దగ్గర వెళ్ళిపోతూనే ఉంటాయి. సో మీ కంఫర్ట్ ఏ టైంలో ఎప్పుడు బ్యాచ్ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోతే అప్పుడు ఆ బ్యాచ్కి వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు, మీకు ఎలిజిబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, అర్థమైంది కదా. అట్లా ఇప్పుడు నేను కోర్ జావాకి ఇప్పుడు అడ్వాన్స్ జావాకి వెళ్ళాలంటే కొంత డిపెండెన్సీ ఉంది. కోర్ జావా అట్లీస్ట్ ఊప్స్ అన్న అయిపోవాలి, అయిపోతే అడ్వాన్స్ జావా. నేనేం చేస్తానంటే ఒక పర్టికులర్ పాయింట్ లో అడ్వాన్స్ జావా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను. ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను అంటే 7 to 8:30 స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను. నా ప్లాన్ ఇది. ఇప్పుడైతే ఫిక్స్ అయిపోయినా మార్నింగ్ 7 to 8:30 అడ్వాన్స్ జావా ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నా. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఇంకా 45 days అయిపోవాలి. ఈ లోపు కాదు, ఇప్పుడు నేను స్టార్ట్ చేసిన మీకు అర్థం కాదు. అప్పుడైపోయింది అడ్వాన్స్ జావా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను. 7 to 8:30 ఫిక్స్డ్ అడ్వాన్స్ జావాకి. 8:30 to 10 కోర్ జావా వెళ్తుంది. ఓకే, దీని తర్వాత 2 టైమింగ్స్ కాకుండా వేరే టైమింగ్స్ లో ఈ కోర్సెస్ అని స్టార్ట్ అయితేనే ఉంటాయి. నా ప్లాన్ ఏంటంటే కొన్ని రోజులు అయిన తర్వాత ఒక 20 days అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అరాకిల్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు 10 o'clock. నేను అంటే నా సపోర్ట్ ఉంటుంది, వేరే ట్రైన్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు, దాని అందరికీ వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. ఇంకో టైమింగ్ లో లేదా అరాకిల్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత కానీ లేదా ఇంకో టైంలో కానీ ఈవో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. అట్లా వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. అట్లానే నెక్స్ట్ ఈ డెవాప్స్ ఎట్లా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. అది నేను చెప్తా, క్లాస్లో చెప్తాను. బ్యాచ్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యే టైం కల్లా నేను క్లాస్ నోటీస్ ఇస్తాను. దాని బట్టి మీరు వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. నోటిఫికేషన్ ఇస్తాను క్లాస్లో. నేను ప్రతి బ్యాచ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంటే ఇంకా స్టార్టింగ్లో ఉన్నారు కదా. అరే నిజం చెప్పాలంటే నేను బ్యాచ్ అరాకిల్ కూడా స్టార్ట్ అయింది, కానీ మీరు ఎలిజిబుల్ కాదు దానికి. అప్పటికి మన స్టూడెంట్స్ కొంతమంది వెళ్ళిపోయారు, ప్యాకేజ్ స్టూడెంట్స్. అది 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 రైట్ ప్లేస్ కాదు అప్పుడే. అసలు ఫస్ట్ మీరు అసలు రాండి, హ్యాబిటేషన్ కారండి. క్లాస్ రూమ్కి రావడం 2 years తర్వాత వస్తున్నారు జనరల్గా. కొంత రాండి, కొన్ని రోజులు అట్లా వస్తూ అలవాటు అయితే ఆటోమేటిక్గా. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు డైరెక్ట్గా తీసుకెళ్ళి 3 క్లాసులో కూర్చోబెట్టి అనుకోండి, ఇరిటేషన్ వస్తుంది. పాయింట్ బై పాయింట్ వెళ్దాం. హర్రీ అవద్దు. ఇక్కడంతా కొంచెం కూల్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ వెళ్ళండి. ఎందుకంటే మీకు మైండ్ ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఫిజికల్ వర్క్ కాదు, మైండ్ పెట్టాలి. మైండ్ ఒకేసారి సడన్ గా 3 hours పెట్టలేరు. అందుకని చెప్పిన కదా, కొంచెం చిన్నగా స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ నేను తీసుకెళ్తాను, మీకు ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు. మీ మైండ్ ని ఎట్లా వర్క్ చేపిస్తా నేను చేపిస్తాను, దాని గురించి ఇబ్బంది లేదు. మీకు ఆ క్లారిటీ రోడ్ మ్యాప్ కూడా చాలా క్లియర్గా ఇస్తాను. మీకు ఎట్లా ఎప్పుడు ఏది నేర్చుకోవాలి, ఎట్లా నేర్చుకోవాలని కూడా చెప్తాను. దాని వల్ల మీరు ప్లాన్ చేసుకోండి. అంటే మీకు ఓవరాల్ కి టోటల్ ఫుల్ స్టాక్ వచ్చేసరికి మెంటర్ నేనే ఉంటా, మొత్తం మానిటర్ మొత్తం నేనే చేస్తా. ఏదో నేను చెప్పని లేకపోతే వేరే ఫ్యాకల్టీ చెప్పని, కానీ నాది రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది. నా ఇబ్బంది ఏముండదు. మీకు ప్లాన్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకే ఓకే, డెఫినెట్గా ఈ క్లాస్ అయిపోయిన ప్రతిదీ బ్యాకప్ ఉంటుంది. మీకు వీడియో సపోర్ట్ ఉంది, ఆల్రెడీ వీడియోస్ అని యూట్యూబ్ లో ఉన్నాయి. ప్లస్ మీరు రిజిస్టర్ అయిపోతే ఇప్పుడు మెయిల్కి వస్తే మీ వీడియోస్, ప్లస్ నేను సపరేట్గా మళ్ళీ బ్యాకప్ క్లాస్ సపరేట్ లైవ్ క్లాసే తీసుకుంటాను. ఏవైతే మీ 3-4 క్లాస్ అయిపోయినా తీసుకుంటాను. ఓకే, ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదండి. మీరే బెస్ట్ నన్ను అడిగితే, కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ అనుకున్నా కూడా అవసరం లేదు. చెప్తున్న బేసిక్స్ నువ్వే కాదు, ఉన్న మొత్తంలో ఎవరికి ఏం తెలియదు. అది తెలియకే కదా నా దగ్గరికి వస్తుంది. పర్లేదండి, పర్లేదు. మీరేనా? ఓకే, చెప్తున్నాను చూడమ్మా. నువ్వు జస్ట్ బీటెక్ అయితే చాలు, బీటెక్ కాకపోయినా చాలు. యాజ్ అ పర్సన్ గా ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి కూర్చుంటే నేను చూసుకుంటా. నేను మీకు ఎట్లా చెప్పాలో నేను చెప్తా, ఎట్లా అర్థం కావాలో కూడా చెప్తా. అర్థమైపోతుంది. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక్కనే కాదు, పక్కన వీళ్ళందరూ ఉన్నారు కదా, వీళ్ళందరూ అదే సేమ్ సినారీ. అంతా కూడా కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ నుంచి వచ్చేవాళ్ళు చాలా తక్కువ. సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఫీల్డ్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. 100% లో ఒక 15 to 20% కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ ఫీల్డ్ వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. మిగతా వాళ్ళంతా మెకానికల్, సివిల్, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్, ఎలక్ట్రికల్ వెళ్ళే ఉంటారు. 75% ఆఫ్ ది పీపుల్ ఫ్రమ్ నాన్ ఐటీ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్. మీకు ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి? మోరోవర్ ఇక్కడ నేను చెప్పే క్లాసెస్ కూడా జనరల్ గా 0 లెవెల్ ని తీసుకెళ్తామని చెప్తారు కదా, నేను ఆల్మోస్ట్ -100 నుంచి తీసుకొస్తున్నా. జావా నేర్చుకోవడానికి CC++ 100% అవసరం లేదు. ఎంతవరకు అవసరం అది చెప్తున్నా నేను. ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళకి ఒక్కసారి ఇలా నోట్స్ కూడా చెక్ చేసుకోండి. ఆ రికార్డింగ్ వీడియోస్ వస్తాయి, చెక్ చేసుకోండి, ఒక క్లారిటీ వస్తుంది. ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ నుంచి రండి. మెయిల్ వస్తుంది కదా, మెయిల్స్ లో రికార్డింగ్ వీడియోస్ వస్తున్నాయా? రావు. అది యూట్యూబ్ లో పెట్టారు ఇప్పటికే, ఇంకా కొన్ని క్లాసులు పెడతారు యూట్యూబ్ లో ప్రమోషనల్ గా. అసలు పర్మనెంట్ అయిన తర్వాత ఇదంతా కూడా పర్మనెంట్, ఇదంతా కూడా సెటెడ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మొత్తం అసలు గూగుల్ డ్రైవ్ యాక్సెస్ వస్తుంది మీకు. ఇంకా మా వాళ్ళు కొంతమందికి ఇచ్చిన ఇంకా అందరికి ఇవ్వలేదు. వస్తాయి వస్తాయి, మొత్తం వస్తాయి వస్తాయి. ఒకసారి అంటే ఈ బ్యాచ్ అంతా కూడా రిజిస్ట్రేషన్స్ అయిపోతే ఒకసారి కొట్టేస్తుంది మొత్తం. చెప్పండి. ఏమి ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు. స్టార్టింగ్ క్లాస్ ప్లేస్మెంట్స్ అదే నేను చెప్తున్నా. అంటే నేనేమి జాబ్ గ్యారంటీ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ కండక్ట్ చేయట్లేదులే, కానీ డెఫినెట్ గా ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే జాబ్ గ్యారంటీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ వల్ల జరిగే మోసం ఏంటంటే, జనరల్ గా ఇప్పుడు నేను తీసుకున్నాను, నేను అందరికి జాబ్ ఇప్పిస్తాను తీసుకున్నాను. నా క్లాస్ లో 200 మెంబర్స్ ఉంటారు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. నేను 200 మెంబర్స్ జాబ్ ఇప్పించాలి. జాబ్ ఇప్పించే ప్రాసెస్ లో స్టూడెంట్ పార్టిసిపేషన్ ఏంటి, నా పార్టిసిపేషన్ ఏంటి చూస్తే, స్టూడెంట్ వర్క్ 70% ఉండాలి, నా వర్క్ 30%. ఎందుకంటే నేను చెప్పడం వరకే కదా, నేను ప్రతి వాళ్ళని కూర్చోబెట్టి చెప్పలేను కదా. అంటే చెప్పడం వరకు కామన్ గా చెప్తా, మీరు చేయాలని చెప్తా. చేస్తే ఓకే వస్తుంది, చేయలేదనుకో అక్కడ నాదే రెస్పాన్స్, నాదే బ్లేమ్ అయిపోతాను కదా. జరిగే మోసం అంతా ఇది బయట. జాబ్ గ్యారంటీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ జరిగేదంతా కూడా ఇదే. స్టూడెంట్ అంటే వస్తాయి, జాబ్స్ వస్తాయి. ఎవరికి వస్తాయి? 70% కష్టపడ్డోడికి వస్తాయి. అందుకని నేను ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఏం పెడుతున్నా అంటే, గ్యారంటీ అనే ప్రోగ్రామ్ పెట్టను, రిస్క్ తీసుకోను. కానీ నా దగ్గర ఆల్రెడీ ఒక 50 to 60 కంపెనీస్ ఉన్నాయి. నేను వాళ్ళని కీప్ ఆన్ ఇన్వైట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాను. వాళ్ళు వస్తూ ఉంటారు ఇక్కడికి, వాళ్ళు కండక్ట్ చేస్తారు. ఓపెన్ గా అందరిని అలౌ చేస్తా. ఎవరు టాలెంటెడ్ అయితే వాళ్ళు సెలెక్ట్ అయిపోతారు. అది చేస్తాను నేను. మీరు మంచిగా చదువుకుంటే మీకు వస్తాయి. మీరు చదువుకోకపోతే ఈ కాంపిటీషన్ మీరు చదువుకోవట్లేరు. అదే అదే నా ఇంటెన్షన్ అయితే అదే. ఎందుకంటే ప్లాన్ చేశాను నేను కూడా. యాక్చువల్లీ గ్యారంటీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ పెడదామని కూడా నాకు నచ్చలేదు బేసిక్ అది. ఎందుకంటే నేను 100% రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ తీసుకొని స్టూడెంట్ చదవకపోయినా కూడా నాది ఇష్యూ అవుతుంది. అది నాకెందుకో నచ్చలేదు అది ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్. అందుకని నేను చేస్తానంటే జాబ్ ఓరియంటెడ్ ఇస్తాను కానీ గ్యారంటీ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఆ మైండ్ సెట్ కనుకుంటే గ్యారంటీ మీరు జాబ్ ఇస్తానంటే వస్తానంటే మాత్రం వద్దనే చెప్తా. ఎందుకంటే ఎక్కడ మార్కెట్లో ఎక్కడ కూడా ఉండదు అది. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు 200 మెంబర్స్ జాబ్ ఇప్పించడం అంటే విత్ ఇన్ 1 మంత్ స్పాన్ లో ఎవరికి కాదు. అది బయట జరుగుతుంది కదా వేరే దాని మీదే ఉంటది. అంటే డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యూ. 70% మీ మీదే ఉంటది. నా రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ చెప్పేదాన్ని చాలా శుభ్రంగా చాలా నీట్ గా చెప్తా. ఎక్కడ కూడా అర్థం కాలేదని పాయింట్ లేకుండా చెప్తా. ఇంకా మీకు తెలియదు, నా క్లాస్ అయిపోయిందంటే నా దగ్గరికి స్టూడెంట్స్ డౌట్స్ వచ్చేది చాలా తక్కువ మంది. వచ్చిన 1 or 2 మెంబర్స్ వస్తారు, వాళ్ళకి కూడా 1 minute లో క్లియర్ అయిపోతుంది. అంటే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంటంటే నేను క్లాస్ లోనే వీళ్ళకి వచ్చే డౌట్స్ అని క్లారిఫై చేస్తాను. వాళ్ళకి ఏ డౌట్ వస్తుందో కూడా నేనే చెప్తా. ఈ డౌట్ ఈ పాయింట్లో ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది మీకు అని. కొంతమందికి వస్తుంది, కొంతమంది రాదు. రాని వాళ్ళు కూడా డౌట్ వస్తుంది, అప్పుడు ఆ డౌట్ క్లారిఫై చేస్తాం. సో మీకు ఆ క్లాస్ చెప్పే పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్కడ ఏం ప్రాబ్లం ఉండదు. నేర్చుకునే దానిలో మీకు గనక ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటే అల్టిమేట్ చాలా దూరం, ఎంత దూరం వెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు. మీరు కానీ రాంగ్ ట్రాక్ పడితే ఇంకా నా చేతిలో లేని సిచ్యువేషన్. ఇప్పుడు నేను క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో ఉన్నంత వరకు నేను కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేస్తాను. హాస్టల్లో మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు నేను చెప్పలేను కదా. రూమ్స్ లో ఎట్లుండదు సిచ్యువేషన్ తెలియదు కదా. హైదరాబాద్ అనే ప్లేస్ ఎట్లుండిద్ది అంటే నేర్చుకునే దానికి స్వర్గం వరకు వెళ్ళొచ్చు. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం చెడు మార్గం నరకం వరకు వెళ్ళొచ్చు. ఆ పాత్ ఎటు తీసుకుంటామనే డిపెండ్ ఉంటుంది. ఇటు సైడ్ వెళ్ళామంటే అద్భుతం, ఇటు సైడ్ వెళ్తే నరకం. ఇంకా మనం ఏం చేయలేం, మన చేతిలో ఏంటంటే అది. దాన్ని బట్టి మనం జాగ్రత్తగా మనం వచ్చిన బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఎట్లా ఉంది ఏం పరిస్థితి ఆలోచించుకొని కూర్చొని చదువుకుంటే ఎంత సక్సెస్ఫుల్. ఇక్కడ మేము ఉండేందుకు చెప్పేదానికి మీరు ఏది 1-4 సార్లు చెప్తాం, లేదు ఇంకా ఒకసారి చెప్పాను ఇంకోసారి చెప్తాం. ఈ బ్యాచ్ కదా సార్ ఇంకో బ్యాచ్ కూడా ఎట్లేదంటే దానికి ఏదో సొల్యూషన్ చూపిస్తాం. అంతవరకు మన చేతిలో ఉంది. కానీ మీరు చదువుతున్నారా లేదా అని చెప్పేసి ఇండివిజువల్ పర్సన్ కేర్ చేయడం అంటే అది టఫే. ఎవరి వాళ్ళు కూడా కాదు ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాద్లో. కాకపోతే నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే నా దగ్గరికి రండి. నా దగ్గరికి వచ్చిన ప్రతి 100 మందిలో 80 మంది జాబ్ వస్తుంది. అది నా దగ్గర కండక్ట్ చేయని ఇంటర్వ్యూస్, బయటకు వెళ్ళి మీరు ఇంటర్వ్యూస్కి వెళ్ళి నా నాలెడ్జ్ తో మీకు 80% జాబ్స్ డెఫినెట్గా వస్తాయి. అంత కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ నేను ఇవ్వగలుగుతాను. ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదండి. మీ చైల్డ్ గురించి అయితే ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు. ఇక్కడ మీరు ఇక్కడ పెట్టినంత వరకు ప్రొటెక్టెడ్. మేము జాగ్రత్తగానే చెప్తాం, అంత ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు. మీకు నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే మీరు హ్యాపీగా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది, దాని గురించి ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు. జాయిన్ చేసుకోండి. బ్యాకప్ ఇస్తానండి. అన్ని 3 క్లాసెస్ అయిపోయినాయి. హార్డ్లీ చెప్పండి మండే నుంచి జరుగుతున్నాయి. ఫస్ట్ మండే క్లాస్ కూడా పెద్ద కౌంట్ ఏం కాదు. ట్యూస్డే నుంచి క్లాసెస్ కౌంట్. నాకు తెలిసి ఈరోజు 3rd క్లాస్. అది పెద్ద ఏం అవసరం లేదు, పెద్ద విషయం. నాకు తెలిసి 1 or 2 క్లాసే కంప్లీట్ అయింది. డిఫరెన్సెస్ బిట్వీన్ జావా అండ్ అదర్స్ అనేది టాపిక్ యాక్చువల్ గా. దానిలో 3 to 4 డిఫరెన్సెస్ అయిపోయినాయి. అవి నేను మళ్ళీ బ్యాకప్ ఇస్తాను అందరికి. ఎందుకంటే మీలాగా ఈ రోజు కూడా వచ్చిన చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. ఒకేసారి వాళ్ళందరూ గ్యాదర్ అయిన తర్వాత ఒకేసారి కూర్చొని బ్యాకప్ ఇస్తాను. మాక్సిమం 21st నుంచి 10 o'clock బ్యాకప్ ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నాం. 21st 10 o'clock, 10 to 11:30 బ్యాకప్ ప్లాన్ చేస్తున్నాం. బ్యాకప్ రావచ్చు మీరు, ఇబ్బంది ఏం లేదు. ఇది కంటిన్యూ అవ్వండి. ఇక్కడేం పెద్ద టఫ్ ఏం కాదు. ఇది సింపుల్ టాపిక్ చెప్తుంది. దీన్ని కంటిన్యూ అయితేనే బ్యాకప్ ప్లాన్ చేసుకుని అయిపోతుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ రోజు వచ్చారు హైదరాబాద్కి, ఏం చేస్తారు? రూమ్ లో వచ్చి కూర్చొని క్లాస్లో అర్థం కాకపోతే బ్యాకప్లో అయిపోతుంది. థ్యాంక్ యూ. లేదు, ఊప్స్ స్టార్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత మీకు ఎట్లేదు 1 month పడింది. 1 month తర్వాత నేను వర్క్ షాప్స్ కండక్ట్ చేస్తాను. సండేస్ క్లాసెస్ ఒక 3 hours 4 hours టాపిక్ తీసుకుని టాపిక్ అయిపోతుంది. చిన్న టాపిక్ ఉండే కొన్ని టాపిక్, ర్యాపర్ క్లాస్ ఒకటి, ఇన్నర్ క్లాస్ ఒకటి, టాపిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇవన్నీ నేను వీకెండే చెప్తా. నాకు ఆ పక్క ప్లాన్ ఉందండి క్లియర్గా. సండేస్ ఏ టాపిక్ తీసుకోవాలి, వీక్ డేస్ ఏ టాపిక్ తీసుకోవాలి అట్లా చెప్తాను క్లియర్. మీకే చెప్పేది క్లాసెస్. బ్యాకప్ వర్క్ షాప్స్ మీరంటుంది, మీకే కండక్ట్ చేసేది. సండేస్ మిమ్మల్ని రమ్మని చెప్తాను, మీ అందరు నమ్మని చెప్తాను. 1.5 hour అండి. ఒక్క క్లాస్ కోర్ జావా అనేది 1.5 hour ఉంటుంది. ఇట్లానే ప్యాకేజెస్ ఉన్నాయి. ప్యాకేజ్ తీసుకుంటే కొన్ని రోజులు అయిన తర్వాత 2 classes 3 classes కూడా అవ్వచ్చు పర్ డేకి. ప్లాన్ చేసుకుంటాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. ఓకే, రైట్ అండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఓకే. Guys, and those who are in online, just wait 1 minute. I will clarify all of your doubts. Yeah, don't worry. I will clarify all of your doubts. Just 2 minutes of time, guys. I'll come to you. Don't worry. Just wait. I'll clarify all of your doubts. Okay. Okay. నేనేమంటానంటే మీరు ఏదైనా చేయండి పర్లేదు. ఒకవేళ జాబ్ వచ్చింది రిక్వైర్మెంట్ వెళ్ళిపోతుంటే ఈ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ ఎక్కడ ఆపొద్దు. నాకు తెలిసి మీకు అక్కడ జాబ్ ఉన్నా కూడా 10 నుంచో ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఉంటది. ఈ స్లాట్స్ మాత్రం అక్కడ ఆఫ్లైన్ కుదరకపోతే ఆన్లైన్ లో అటెండ్ అవ్వండి. ఈ లెర్నింగ్ అనేది కీప్ ఆన్ మీరు పెట్టుకోండి. మీరు ఎంత త్వరగా ఈ టెక్నాలజీ కంప్లీట్ చేసుకుంటే అంత త్వరగా షిఫ్ట్ అయిపోవచ్చు. ప్రాసెస్ ఉంటుంది. అక్కడ ఏం చెప్తారు మీకు అది బెటర్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్. ఫేక్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పెట్టేస్తారు, టెక్నికల్ పెడతారు. నేర్చుకుంటారు కాబట్టి నేర్చుకున్న దాని మీద పెట్టేసి కొట్టేది అంతా ఓపెన్ సీక్రెట్ అండి. అందరు చేసే పని అదే. మీకు ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పిన మీరు దాన్ని మర్చిపోండి. అది మీకు ఓన్లీ ప్రజెంట్ సర్వైవల్ కోసమే ఆ జాబ్. వన్స్ మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే టెక్నాలజీ కంప్లీట్ చేసుకుని కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ వస్తే ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ అటెండ్ అవుతారో ఆఫర్ లెటర్ వచ్చిందంటే అక్కడ ఏం చెప్తారంటే మీరు ఇక్కడైతే ఎంత టైం అయితే వర్క్ చేస్తుంది అంత టెక్నికల్ వర్క్ చేసి పెడతాం ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్. ఆ కంపెనీ కూడా పెట్టాం, వేరే కంపెనీ పెట్టేస్తాం. అది కంపెనీ పెట్టినా కూడా అక్కడ మేనేజ్ చేసుకుంటే ఏదైనా డిజిగ్నేషన్ తో రావచ్చు సర్టిఫికేట్. పెద్ద మ్యాటరింగ్ కాదు అది. ఆ 2 పాసిబిలిటీస్ ఉన్నాయి. చేసుకోవచ్చు పెద్ద ఇష్యూనే కాదు అది. కాకపోతే నేర్చుకోవాలి, స్ట్రాంగ్ గా నేర్చుకోలేదు. ఈ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అనేది ఎక్కడ ఆపొద్దు. లైన్ డౌన్ ద లైన్ మీకు కంప్లీట్ అయిన దూరం పెట్టేసుకోండి. ఎందుకంటే పర్మనెంట్ గా దాన్ని పెట్టుకోవద్దు. దాని మీద గ్రోత్ పెద్ద ఏమి ఉండదు. ఎప్పటికైనా టెక్నికల్ సైడ్ ఎక్కువ గ్రోత్ ఉంటుంది. అది ప్లాన్ చేసుకోండి. రికార్డింగ్ వీడియోస్ ఎలా వస్తాయి?